Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and welcome to another Wild Eye Wednesday. Now, today we're going to be taking a look at One Night in October, 1 week in February. All right, One Night in October is a 2020 film that runs approximately 104 minutes. But if you look on the back of the DVD, it says it runs 89 minutes. So once again, we have a misprint or a typo. Now, this is written and directed by Christopher M. Carter, and this is an anthology, so I'm going to handle this like I handle all the other anthologies that Wild Eye produces or distributes. And I'm going to take it segment by segment. Now, I've been really eagerly anticipating this one. I've wanted to see this one forever, and I was pleasantly surprised. Now, there is no wraparound, and this is handled much like Trick or Treat, where all the segments kind of run together, and you get reappearances of certain things in the film to remind you of that segment. It kind of switches from this one to this one to this one, and then goes back and forth. Now, the first segment is The Witch and the Scarecrow. Now, all these are written and directed, as I said before, by Christopher M. Carter. This stars Erin Colin Marshall and Brett Linden. Now, this one I thought was the weakest, even though I still did like it. I gave it a 6.5. And I'm not going to really get into some synopsises. I'll get into like very brief ones because these are short stories. So anything I say is going to probably give away a lot of it. In this one, you have a group of kids who go to a corn maze and disturb a local witch. And I'm going to leave it there. I don't want to get into any more of it. The Scarecrow does come into play, but I'm going to leave it there because you can probably figure out what happens next. The second segment is called The Dark. Now, this has Nathan O'Miller in it, and it's a weird tale. I'm going to be honest. This one is a weird tale. And it's written very well, and it's handled. I really like this one. I gave this one a 7. I'm trying to think of how to explain this one. Um, the man is a cop. The woman is his former love interest. Unfortunately, he can only see her every 3 months for a very short amount of time, and you're not really sure why. They start saying something about the dark in it, and I really can't get into any more than that because if I do, I'll give away what the big twist is. But it's built up like a kind of like a romantic sort of segment that takes a really, really dark turn. And I actually like the way it was done. Like I said, I gave this one a 7. The last one, of course, is my favorite, and it's called The Reaper. Now, this one I gave an 8 to. And this has Eric Azana and Taylor Pleckety. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing that right. Now, as I said before, these were all written and directed by Christopher M. Carter. Now, The Reaper. A woman who is really, really fond of Halloween and puts out a lot of decorations actually moves to this town and decorates her house really nice. And she comes across this guy who also decorates his house, and they get into kind of like a little bit of a Halloween competition in a way. Well, he is actually setting her up for a home invasion with his friends. And that one I'm going to have to leave there because it takes a really dark turn. Like I said, I don't want to give away anything because some of the twists in these I actually didn't see coming. So yeah, I was very pleasantly surprised. The acting in this was really good. For an independent horror film, I really enjoyed the acting in it. The gore was pretty much on point. I like the gore in it. Some of the storytelling, while it got a little confusing in the beginning where it didn't tell a linear story because you're switching back and forth between segments, was a little confusing up until you figure out how they're doing this anthology, where you're switching back and forth and you're getting a little bit of this one and a little bit of that one and then back and forth and back and forth. So it's a little confusing and off-putting in the beginning. Most of the time when I watch an anthology, you expect a wraparound, you expect stories to be told singularly and one after the other. You don't get that with this, which I applaud their creativeness. Now, this, of course, isn't the first time that an anthology told a story like that where you go back and forth, but it's not as often as with the whole wraparound and the story after story. So, like I said, I applaud their creativity, and I think they did a really good job on this one. I definitely recommend this if you're into. Hobbs has already seen this, but I would definitely recommend this to Hobbs because he loves anything that's October or Halloween that has that Halloween feel to it. Anyone who likes anthologies, just when you're watching it, give it a chance because, like I said before, it is a little confusing in the beginning. You know, you're dealing with a group of characters in a cornfield, and then all of a sudden you're dealing with somebody else somewhere else, and you're not sure if they're intertwined, you're not sure if it's a different story. So just give it a chance. It does unfold, and it's very satisfying. I'll put it that way. But yeah, I wanted to say a big thank you to Wild Eye for sending me this. I'm going to put the links to their YouTube channel and their official website in the description box below. Definitely check them out. They are where it's at with independent horror. So yeah, if you like what you see in here, hit that like button and subscribe. And until next time, peace.